2 years ago, when I was 15 years old, I decided to try dropshipping for the first time.
It's such a classic YouTuber thing to say. Instead of saying, I'm 17, you say 2 years ago I was 15. So it sounds even crazier.
And fast forward to this year, it's only the beginning of October and I've already made over $100,000 in revenue across a few of my stores with roughly 40% in profit. And this is exactly how I got here.
It's so crazy to see this from my perspective because for you guys, you just see the journey and it basically all goes great and then he makes 100K and everything's amazing. But from my perspective, I see all the phases in between and I see the entire journey actually happening live. And it's the coolest thing to actually have like a summary here and then have the real overview of what specifically happened during those times, how we got here, what the down phases were, etc.
So I started my dropshipping journey back in August 2022 after stumbling upon a video about it on YouTube. And to say that my first store flopped would be an understatement. I spent over $500 in ads and got only one sale in return.
Average TikTok ads user, classic experience.
Which not only led to me losing literally all of my life savings, but I also even got into debt to my parents, so I had to find a part-time job in order to pay off the debt and get a budget to run ads for a new store. Not a very good start if you ask me. In fact, it was so bad that it made me very hesitant to start a new store.
Please rewatch this moment right here. He literally said, I didn't have enough budget to test a nice product, so I got a job. And this is what you should be doing. I've heard this excuse so many times where people say, yeah, I can't start dropshipping because I don't have enough money. How about you go and work? I have one of the craziest strategies to 100,000% make a few $1,000s in one single month. 100% guaranteed. It's called a job. If you go work for a month straight, I promise you, you're going to make $1,000 to $4,000 in the first month. All right. Crazy thing, but it actually does work. So if you don't have money, go and work. And this is him when he was 15 years old, when he could have had the excuse of, yeah, nobody's going to take me to the job because I'm so young. If you don't live in a third world country where you actually don't have access to jobs, you don't have a real excuse.
I didn't launch a single new website for months after that. It even got to a point that in early winter 2022, I started deliberating quitting and almost gave up because for me, it seemed like the risk is way too high and it clearly doesn't work for me. But then at around that time, I heard about organic dropshipping and it changed everything. For those of you who don't know, organic dropshipping is when instead of running paid ads to your website, you advertise it for free by posting videos with the link to your store on social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, which cuts out the need to spend any money on ads completely. And hearing that as a broke 15-year-old who lost all of his life savings on ads, I realized that it's perfect for me since there's almost no risk involved.
So even though this is completely true, and he's right about organic being such a low barrier to entry where you don't need a crazy amount of budget, it's so annoying and it pisses me off that people think that if you do have money, you shouldn't do organic. It's not true. It's not this poor man's strategy as most people think. It's a strategy which works well if you don't have budget, but it's still superior to ads if you do have budget, because overall it's just easier to get started with as a beginner. It doesn't matter if you have $5,000 or $10,000. Organic is still usually better.
In December 2022, I launched my first organic dropshipping store selling this little thing. Basically a portable fragrance bottle that allows people to take their favorite fragrance anywhere with them. I started making content with it every day, primarily taking it to malls and borrowing the fragrances from the shelves.
This is also, it's so annoying how childish this whole business model of organic dropshipping looks. Imagine, somebody tells you your job is go to a mall, take this little device with you, steal fragrances, and then take a video of that. That sounds like a horrible business model, right? But in reality, it actually does work for everyone, even if they don't do this thing, okay? There's 100 million different ways of how to go viral. This is one of them, but you don't have to do this. And also, this is what detracts a lot of people from starting it because it seems so unserious. It looks like a childish business model, but it's the exact opposite. We have people making millions of dollars with organic dropshipping only, and it just works. And it's actually the best way to get started. And that's why I'm pushing it so hard. But these things, they just make it look so childish.
Ultimately, after running it for 2 weeks, I was still not getting any views and definitely not getting any sales. So I decided to find a new product and change the strategy I was using. And that's when I got my first ever organic sales. It was already late January 2023 at the time, and the product I picked was an automatic door closer, which is
a horrible product.
Pretty self-explanatory. It's just a contraption that you put in your door and it closes it automatically. I chose to run it because it solves a problem, kinda has a wow factor, and you can't find it in retail stores, which I thought were the 3 main criteria for a winning product. But back when I was running the small fragrance thing, I was constantly getting 0 views and facing other problems related to the algorithm on TikTok because I was trying to target the US while being in a different country without a proper phone setup. So this time, instead of targeting the US like everybody else does, I decided to take a completely different approach and target the country that I live in. And that worked way better than I expected. I went viral with this product in just a couple of weeks of posting TikToks and started getting sales every day.
This is something which is so underutilized. One of those strategies which just consistently work over time is this. You take a very saturated product from the US and you sell it in a smaller, unsaturated country. Saturated products have this really unique and cool thing about them, which is they are proven to work. They are for a fact winners, and that's why they're saturated. That makes sense, right? Like the only reason why they're saturated is because so many people bought them, nobody needs them anymore. Okay, everybody saw it, everybody has it. You don't need it. But in a smaller country where nobody saw it yet, everybody still needs it, but nobody has it. And then you just sell in there and you make a bunch of money. And the second thing you also have is you also have very specific video concepts from the US, which you just can copy, okay? Usually when you pioneer a product, when you have a completely fresh product, you have to come up with your own video ideas. You have to think by yourself. But here, you just literally take what already worked in the US, put it in a smaller market, and it does work a lot of the time. So that's a very solid strategy, which consistently makes everybody sales.
Sometimes literally on my classes. Getting over 100k views on my TikToks time after time without even having to put much effort into them because there's no competition in this market. It felt amazing until I did some research and found out that I was actually losing money while doing all of this because of insane payment provider fees.
It's such a classic thing to have. The same thing happened to me in the beginning. I just thought I'm making a bunch of money, lost a bunch of money.
Please do the math before running a product. Don't make this mistake, okay? By that point in early March 2023, I was already about 7 or 8 months into dropshipping and I still haven't made a single dollar from it in profit. I have literally only been losing money and time for over a year and a half with it by that point. But going viral and even getting sales with the automatic door closer proved to me that it's actually possible and gave me some more hope that I will make it. So I decided to find a product with better margins and repeat what I just did with that with all the knowledge and the experience I now had from the automatic door closer to actually make some profit this time. So that is exactly what I did, and it led me to making close to $8,000 in revenue with about 60% in profit with my next product. The product I ran was this gripster thing that improves your forearm strength and size. The main reasons I chose to run it is that 1, I have pretty vascular forearms, which will allow me to easily make videos for it. And 2, it already went viral in the US, which means that it's a proven product and there's a lot of videos that I can take inspiration from and copy. And on top of that, it also fits the criteria that I talked about before, so I ordered it right away. I started posting videos with it as soon as I got it, and I got my first sale with it literally on the 2nd day of running it, which absolutely blew my mind. I started to put much more effort into my videos and was pushing out 4 or 5 videos every day almost without fail. And I was able to go viral with it consistently time after time by just showing my arms and pretending like it got me those veins. Don't cancel me, the product actually works. It does, I promise.
Yeah, this is something you should be generally doing. If you have some sort of advantage, you should definitely use it. So for example, I've seen a few people make a lot of money with this jaw muscle trainer thing just because they had like a crazy chiseled jaw before and they were just able to promote the product really well. That just makes sense. If you have a dog, sell dog product. It's just something which most people will not be able to replicate, and you just crush all your competition.
Getting all these sales and actually being profitable was crazy for me since I was still just 15 years old and I've never seen this kind of money before. To say the least, I felt on top of the world, and that led me to making my first major mistake. I don't even know what I was thinking, but after running this product for about 15 days, I decided to drop it and start to look for something more profitable. Even though it was making me a lot of money at the moment and I was going viral consistently. I honestly can't recall why I did it, but after looking at the revenue graph, I think that the main reason was that in the few days leading up to my last video with this product, my daily sales have dropped by about 70%. And I was so impatient and addicted to those high days that I started to look for something new immediately to get back up there. And for all of you guys, I know this is very case specific, but if you're running a product and it's consistently making you money and you're going viral with it, please don't look for something else if you have nothing better to do. Just keep running it. And here's why. I was very serious about getting back up to those high days that I had. And after seeing a few dozen 100k month Shopify dashboard screenshots from people doing paid ads and constantly hearing success stories with TikTok has from everyone.
TikTok ads suck. They're horrible. Please just do everything. Just don't run TikTok ads, okay? But besides the point, this is such a classic beginner mistake. Everybody in the beginning, for some reason, stops doing what's working and does something else because they get shiny object syndrome.
From everyone around me, I decided that I had enough capital and experience to get back into ads, which is my second biggest mistake. Instead of sticking to something that already works for me, which was organic dropshipping, I fell for the shiny object syndrome and fear of missing out. I decided to learn something completely new from scratch, even though it never worked for me in the past. What I should have done instead is sticking to one strategy, which is organic dropshipping, and getting as good at it as possible. Instead, I ran a few other products here and there to get some more budget and started aggressively learning about paid ads. I dedicated all of my time to acquiring as much knowledge about it as possible and ended up spending a big part of the summer and even a couple of months of the fall 2023 trying to make money with ads. And although I did get some sales with a few products, ultimately after all that time of running paid ads and essentially completely sacrificing organic dropshipping in favor of it, I ended up losing about $1,000 with it.
Yeah, opportunity cost is just so high. Like, people say, yeah, I can just run ads. It's not a big deal. It's not going to take too much time. I can still do organic. It's your mental space. Like, you consistently are going to check your ads. You're going to refresh the dashboard. You're going to do so many things which are just going to distract you from doing the actual work. And then on top of that, most people, like 99.999%, don't make consistent profit on a yearly basis with TikTok ads. Like, this is something which is so difficult as a dropshipper. Some brands do it, but like as a dropshipper, if you run TikTok ads, you're gonna have these flashy days and like you make 5K in a day. That can happen, but you're for sure not gonna make a living from it. Like, it's not possible to consistently make money off TikTok ads because they're so inconsistent.
I was starting to get really desperate and even deliberating quitting again, because by that point in November 2023, I was stalling and not making any money with both paid ads and organic dropshipping for months on end, which is pretty hard to process after such a big success for me with the Gripsters earlier that year. But just before I quit, a big YouTuber by the name of Mikey again, who initially inspired me to start doing organic dropshipping.
I think the entire organic dropshipping industry is based on this guy. Like, everybody who started organic dropshipping is because they followed Mikey's journey and they're like, damn, he made it work.
Connected me to his mentor, Michael Bernstein, and that changed everything. We hopped on a call with Michael somewhere in late November 2023, and he immediately pointed out to me that I'm spending my time on the wrong things and told me that I shouldn't be doing anything but organic dropshipping right now because that is the thing that I'm already good at and that has made me money in the past. So finally, after several months of stagnation, I started testing organic products again, this time with way more volume and with guidance.
When we talked the first time, like, he was so shocked when I was like telling him how you should test multiple products at the same time. He was like, no, I already have one. And I'm like, so test 4 more. Like, he didn't have a proper understanding of volume, what volume even means. And when we started working together, it was tough in the beginning, but like we made it work in the end. And one of the big contributing factors was just the volume of products and good products, which we actually checked and made sure that you only test good products, and a lot of products he tested. So when you do things by yourself, you feel very productive for posting a video a day. Like, that sounds like a lot. You post 2 videos a day maybe, and you feel great. But in reality, it should be like 10 to 20. And that's just a concept which most people in the beginning don't understand at all.
Instead of testing just one product at a time like I always used to, they told me to test 2 at all times, and on top of that, instead of just targeting my own country, they explained to me how to target the US the proper way and told me to target that as well with all of my products. So I went from basically doing almost no work, just trying to find new products for TikTok ads for a couple of hours a day, to suddenly running 2 products to 2 different countries whilst also going to school.
Keep in mind, in the beginning, it should have been even more. But he had school, so he couldn't do it full time. He had a bunch of stuff to do anyways. So that's why it was only 2. But keep in mind, it's actually a little more because he was actually running both products in 2 countries, which means almost like not fully double the work, but definitely like 50% more work. And one thing I've heard a lot of people say is this: instead of filming 2 videos per day, I'm only going to film 1 video per day. And then I'm going to put double the work into that 1 video, and it's going to be double as good. And when people say that, 99% of the cases, they don't put in double the work in 1 video, and in reality they just cut their working times in half. In a lot of the cases, as a beginner especially, you're not able to put in double the work. You don't know what to do, you don't know how to improve it, and putting in double the work doesn't mean anything. The video doesn't get double as good. It's only when you're very, very advanced you can allow yourself to do these things, where you can actually understand why videos go viral, and then you do go the extra mile, you do crazy things to actually do go viral, and they just require more time. That's fine, but most people don't do that.
That was by far one of the most stressful parts out of my whole ecom journey because I've never had to work that hard by that point in my journey. But I understood that that might very well be my last chance to make it with dropshipping, so I did everything I needed to make it work. My mentors Michael and his partner Jacob were reviewing all of my videos, so I gradually started to get better at it and making sales within around the first month of working with them. However, nothing still came even remotely close to my first semi-winning product, which made me 8K in revenue. So naturally I started to get discouraged again and doubt whether it's even possible or not. I thought that perhaps I just got lucky that one time and I won't be able to replicate it again no matter how hard I try. So it was getting harder and harder to put in the work because I saw almost no results. But that is when I found by far my most lucrative product, which ended up making me around $70,000 in revenue with about 50% in profit. So Kostify, what is the product, you may ask? Well, would you be surprised if I told you that I already showed the product in my last video? Would you be surprised that even after exposing it to all of you guys, I still ended up making over $33,000 in revenue with it since that moment? That's right, the product is the fidget guns. Like I said, I already made a video going fully in depth into how I made it work a few months ago, and even though that video is now at over 70K views, I am still making money with this product every day. Part of it is obviously the community and the platform that I've built while running this product. I'm currently at over 200,000 subscribers.
So the cool thing about this is once you actually make it work, you have a massive audience. Like he has 200,000 subscribers on YouTube on his product, which just makes it go viral on a very consistent basis. And even if he doesn't go crazy viral, the videos just get a baseline of views, which make him money month over month over month. And it didn't really matter that he revealed it on YouTube because you already had the account built up. If you just start the product from scratch, it's a very tough product to make it work because it's very saturated. But if you already have the accounts, it's actually a very valid product to even do right now. So the coolest thing here, we told him to get creators to do content for him, and these are accounts which he's not even running anymore. Like he has people who are doing this for him, which is amazing to see, especially considering he's 17 years old.
On this product's account on YouTube, which is also what I got one of these silver play buttons for. But another part is me just still posting and going viral consistently to this day. So that means that if you took advantage of it and just copied me back when I released the video, you'd have really high chances of making it work and making money with it. I was so sure that after revealing this product and showing it to all of you guys in my last video, I will most likely stop getting sales or that it will at least slow down, but it just feels like almost none of you took advantage of it and tested it. You guys are so lazy. I just revealed a whole winning product to you that could have gotten you to your first 10K month in my last video and literally gave you a whole blueprint on how to make it work, and yet you still didn't take action. Don't worry though, I will give you guys another opportunity later in this video. The last time I shot a dropshipping video for this product was around the beginning of May, which is about 5 months ago, and I'm still making sales with it daily. How is that possible, you may ask? There's no way that the videos that I posted back in March and April are still getting me sales to this day consistently, right? You're right, that's not the case. The reason I'm still getting sales with this product consistently is that I found the creator that is making the content for me. So for those of you who commented on the page that I fell off and started being lazy with my content, it was actually not me, it was my creator. It started off slow and I had to teach the guy everything I know from pretty much literally zero.
If your creator falls off, you fall off. It doesn't matter. You are your team. It doesn't matter who falls off. It's your responsibility. So.
But at this point, he's just making videos by himself, and I don't even have to review them most of the times. I can just post them because he's just gotten that good. Now, you guys have missed the opportunity to run the fidget blasters when I first talked about it, but I have another opportunity for you right now. I'm currently looking for more creators to join my team that I will teach everything I know on one-on-one calls with me in exchange for them making content for me. So if that's something you're interested in, please fill in the Google form in the pinned comment of this video, and I will get back to you if you're a good fit.
That's my line. I patented it.
So with that, by about June of this year, all of the videos that I was posting on the Fidget Trigger account were fully made by my creators, which gave me a problem. I had nothing to do. So to fill up my time, I started testing more products and getting on more creators. And one of those products that I tested this summer popped off on all platforms at the same time. The product was this Bible pillow thing. I tested it myself back in May of this year, but it didn't really work for me. I only got about 100,000 views on a YouTube short and didn't really make that many sales, so I was about to stop running it. But my mentors told me that the YouTube short had really good engagement, so they said that I need to send it out to a few of my creators and test it a little bit more. So I set up a couple of creators with this product, and at first, no one was really getting views, and it seemed like I actually need to stop running the product. But a couple of weeks later, one of the creators started to blow up on all 3 platforms, which is Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at exactly the same time. One 1.7 million views on a YouTube short, 2.4 million views followed by 800,000 views followed by 2.4 million views followed by 1.7 million views on Instagram Reels. Again, all happening at about the same time in mid-July. All of these views generated a total of about $6,000 in revenue. I know it's fairly low for this amount of views, but I think that the reason that happened is that we went viral in wrong audiences and for wrong reasons. But on the other hand, if you really think about it, I haven't had to post a single TikTok with that product myself, and I still ended up making over $6,000 in revenue with it, so it's still pretty good. And while I was going viral with the Bible pillow, I also found another product and set up just one of my creators with it, and that ended up getting me a $500 day. This thing is called a kitty purse.
This kitty purse right here made my other student Agam $500,000. It is ridiculous, and it looks like not a good product at all, but it just hits people so well. Like, if you just go viral in the right niche, which is cat lovers, and you do with this product, it's crazy because this product, it has such a viral factor already by default, just because it looks so cool.
The only creator that was testing it went viral with it on TikTok and hit a $500 day with about 50% in profit for me. We didn't really go viral with it after that, so we only ended up making about $1,000 in total revenue with it, but it's still not bad given that all of this money came from thin air and I actually provided a good service while doing it and got good reviews. Honestly guys, aside from all the numbers in the dashboard screenshots, it's pretty crazy how fulfilling getting positive reviews from customers is. But unfortunately, most of the suppliers cannot provide that quality with affordable price at the same time anymore. I personally used AutoDS to fulfill all orders for this product, and it's been really good. It's very easy to set up and connect to a store, and the average shipping time I got across all the countries I got orders from was only 12 days.
Shout out to Lior.
So after 2 years of doing ecom, I currently have 4 products consistently making me money every day, and I know I have by all means not reached the top yet. I don't even come close to guys like Mikey again, but I think I do have enough experience to assure you. If you currently feel discouraged in your journey, or perhaps you just doubt whether it's even worth starting so you haven't yet, just remember, I have been there too, and it all worked out in the end. It might take a month, it might take 8 months, it might even take a year, but if, unlike most people that jump from one strategy to another, you just stick to dropshipping, it will work, and I am alive proof that it's possible.
So the only real question which is open here is, what else do you need to finally get started with our program? Like, there's literally no reason at this point to not do this. It's very obvious that if you do organic dropshipping, the only place to be is in the program. And there's a bunch of reasons for that. Number one, we will literally pick products with you together. You just show us a list of 100 products and we tell you, test this one, don't test this one. We literally have the entire overview over the whole organic industry. We know what's good and what's bad, what's working currently, what's saturated, etc. It's impossible to figure that out by yourself. And then also, we're going to consistently review every single video you post, and we're going to tell you, change this, do that. We will just make sure that you as a video creator are going to get better and better over time, and will force virality on you. That's the only reason why we have so much success, because it works. And on top of that, I'm also actively in the game. I hate these people who are just chatting shit without doing anything by themselves. In reality, if you look at this store right here, we made $600,000 on one single store with one product in the last 30 days. And I can refresh here so you can actually see it's real. Now, if you want to get started working with me, click the link below, sign up for a call. We're going to see if everything is a good fit.